Hey friends, happy Friday, welcome back. I am so excited to have you because today's discussion I feel like is the least discussed about topic when it comes to motherhood. And I didn't realize that I was going to have these kind of thoughts or have this idea or this thing that I would ever have to tackle until I started my own journey of becoming a mom. And that is the silent struggle of managing and overcoming the internal battle of mom guilt. And if you're a mother, whether you're a first-time mother, you're a veteran mom, you've had a few kiddos, if you're a mom in the 21st century, I think we can all relate at some point in our journey where we've experienced a tad bit of this thing we called mom guilt. First of all, this discussion is for all my moms. All my moms in today's society in the 21st century trying to navigate the so many options that we have to choose from nowadays that I get so confused about. Okay, so you guys are probably wondering, so what is this mom guilt that you're speaking of? So I understand that every mother has their own individual journey and experience in this, but I kind of came up with a definition that I feel like is relatable, can be relatable to everyone. And that is, mom guilt refers to the feelings of guilt, worry, or doubt experienced by mothers when making decisions, or typically whether they are feeling that whether they are doing a good enough job as parents. And I think that is so simple but sums it up pretty well. And it kind of also stems off of overthinking, right? I feel like a lot of us deal a great deal, especially first-time parents, when something happens or we need to find an answer out to something that we don't know. We go down the Google rabbit hole trail, and that's not good. That's not good for our mental sanity. That's not good for our children if we're worrying about it, if it's something that we don't need to worry about it. And so I just feel like that's another form of mom guilt that I feel like is something that I struggle with still daily. But that's one thing that I feel like is a good depiction of what mom guilt is, for sure. I feel like this is another common way that mothers experience guilt, and that is when we finally decide to take the time for ourselves to kind of just be alone, be away, and leave the little ones at home with a grandparent or a spouse, and take the time to pretty much just take ourselves on a date and have that mental reset, whether that is you want to go on a hike, you want to go get some boba, you want to meet a friend for lunch, or go to a new coffee spot, take a workout class. I didn't realize how important that is to have your alone time, but I always found myself on those few select times that I did decide to go out and want to meet friends, I always had this little voice in the back of my head that was nagging and saying, hey, you left your little one at home. Hey, you left the peanut at home, and then I'm always kind of thinking about her. I'm always like, is she okay? Is she hungry? Is she thirsty? Is someone changed her diaper? So then I'm like finding myself rushing these conversations with friends if I've decided to go out or meet someone, or if I'm at out walking or at the mall. As soon as I have that one thought of oh, how is my daughter? The guiltiness kicks in, and I'm just like, oh, I want to go home, and I've only been away for an hour, 30 minutes, hour and a half, nothing too crazy. I feel like when we get the feelings of guilt during motherhood, it stems off of two places, right? The first thing is wanting to fit into societal expectations the world has for us as moms, right? And then the second one is quite simple. It's just comparing ourselves to other moms and dads, comparing ourselves to other parents. And those two things right there are the biggest killers, and I feel like it's also the most normal thing and the easiest thing that first-time parents get themselves entrapped with, because you want to get advice and education and talk to friends who are parents and have done it before you. So yeah, I feel like that's the balance, trying to find the balance where you trust your own intuition as a mom and your mom gut, as well as understanding how to do this and that you were meant for this, right? And I think that if there's anything that I've learned about being a mom is that what might work for you may not work for the other mom. And so that doesn't mean that your way of doing things is necessarily wrong. That just means that your child reciprocates in a completely different way than their child does necessarily. And I feel like that's another thing that mom guilt had, that really is what a mom guilt thing is, that just you have to remember that as long as your baby and your child and your family is healthy and happy and you're okay, I feel like that's like honestly the biggest thing right there. And I feel like the first thing we have to do is redefine what success means in motherhood. I feel like in today's society, especially in the 21st century, we often measure our success as moms by societal standards. And I feel like it's time that we change that and we redefine what we believe success means in motherhood. And first of all, it's not about being perfect. It's not about meeting the expectations or the standards of others, but it truly is about just being present, being loving, being nurturing, and really shifting our focus from the external validation and paying attention to the joy, the pure joy, and the happiness that your little one and your family brings you. And I feel like by simply just reminding that and redefining success in that way and really kind of ingraining that in our heads and kind of introducing this thought process, it's only then we can alleviate the unnecessary burden of mom guilt. And I still struggle with it every day. You know, I honestly still try to cope with it and understand it every day. And I feel like mom guilt is something that is new. I never thought it was something I'd ever had to experience as a mom. I never thought it was something I would ever have to worry about, but I feel like it just honestly stems with those two things, just comparing yourself and overthinking things and taking time for yourself. And it's something that I feel like is we all struggle with, but it's something that we all need to be reminded of. So you're probably wondering, how do we manage and tackle this huge, complicated spider web of mom guilt? And I feel like this is what we have to do. I feel like first we have to redefine the success. Redefine the success. I feel like first we have to redefine what success means in motherhood. And that is, I feel like in today's society, especially in the 21st century, we often measure our success as moms by societal standards. And I feel like it's time to redefine what success in motherhood means. And it's not about being perfect, and it's not about meeting what Instagram or what social media wants us to do, or what they think is meeting the expectation of what a mother is being. Oh, and another thing that I think is super, super cute. Cooper, my golden doodle, he's my son. I call him Mr. Gooby. He is my first baby. He is the OG baby. And ever since I had my little one, unfortunately, I haven't been able to spend as much time naturally with him as I should or as I used to. So he loves to soak up these moments and memories and times. He loves to soak up a little bit of time, as much as he can get with me, even if that is driving to go get a coffee or go to the gas station or go to Target. Look at him. He's just so cute. A little. You know, we're talking about you. Okay, I was telling our friends how much he miss me. Yeah, that's all. I love you. Yeah. Okay, let's go Target.